Stop the car, Daddy. That boy says he can make me walk again. Those were the exact words a paralyzed millionaire's daughter screamed after locking eyes with a barefoot street boy on a busy Lagos street. What happened next left doctors speechless, shocked an entire nation, and proved that miracles sometimes come dressed in rags. You won't believe how this street kid changed a billionaire's life forever. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable real-life stories that will make your jaw drop and your heart race. The streets of Lagos buzz with the usual evening chaos, street hawkers shouting prices, loud music from distant radios, and the occasional roar of Okadas zipping past traffic. But inside a sleek, black Mercedes Maybach cruising through the city center, the mood was heavy and silent. Chief Obinna, one of Nigeria's wealthiest tech moguls, sat with his fingers locked tightly in his lap. Beside him sat his daughter, Adaora, 10 years old, sweet-faced, and confined to a wheelchair since the accident that changed everything. 8 months ago, a rainy evening, a reckless drunk driver, and one loud crash had flipped their world upside down. Adaora survived, but her legs did not. Doctors said she'd never walk again. Therapists came and went. Nothing worked. The once bubbly girl had become quiet, withdrawn and numb, until that moment. As they stopped at a traffic light, Adaora turned her head slowly toward the sidewalk. "Daddy, stop the car," she said, her voice weak but urgent. "What is it?" Chief Obinna asked, puzzled. "That boy. He's staring at me." Obinna turned to see a ragged boy, barefoot, maybe 10 or 11, standing by the sidewalk. His skin was dark and dusty, his hair uncombed, and his shirt 2 sizes too small. But there was something strange his eyes. He wasn't begging. He was simply watching like he knew her. The driver rolled down the window slightly. The boy stepped forward, raised a hand, and said, "Uncle, I know how to make your daughter walk again." Silence. Chief Obinna blinked and burst into laughter. "What kind of joke is this? Street kids will say anything for attention." But Adaora leaned forward in her seat. Her eyes didn't blink. "Daddy, I believe him." The boy stood calmly under the streetlight. He didn't flinch under the gaze of the guards now emerging from the car or the disapproving looks from the chauffeur. He had no shoes, no bag, nothing but the words he had spoken. "I had a dream," the boy said softly, meeting Obinna's eyes. "In it, I saw your daughter. She was sitting in that chair just like now. I walked up to her, touched her legs, and she stood up." Obinna's jaw tightened. "How do you know she can't walk? How do you know who we are?" "I don't," the boy replied. "But the dream came 3 times, and every time she walked." Adaora clutched her father's hand tightly. "Please, let him try. What if it's real?" Obinna's mind raced. This could be some scam. Maybe someone put the boy up to it. But how could he have known? Nobody outside the house knew how serious Adaora's injury was. Not even their staff knew the full extent. He studied the boy. "What's your name?" Obinna asked. "I don't have one. People call me Junior. I was abandoned as a baby. I grew up on the streets. The dreams started when I was about 6. "Dreams?" Obinna asked skeptically. "Sometimes I see things before they happen. I don't know why. I don't ask questions. I just listen." After a long pause, Obinna sighed. "One chance." "You try anything strange, just one wrong move, and my guards will handle you." Junior didn't blink. "I understand." Later that evening, Junior stepped into the grand Obinna estate, an ocean of marble floors, velvet curtains, gold-plated chandeliers, and security cameras at every corner. The boy paused at the entrance like a lost child in a palace. Every servant stared. "Who's this?" whispered a maid. "Why is he barefoot?" another muttered. Obinna's wife, Ebel, rushed in. "What is this? Obinna, who is this boy?" He pulled her aside and whispered the whole story. Her first reaction was disbelief, followed by worry. "You trust a street child with our daughter?" "I don't trust him," Obinna replied. "But Adaora does, and I've seen her hope for the first time since the accident." They brought Adar into the living room. She smiled when she saw Junior. "Are you ready?" he asked her gently. She nodded. "Close your eyes," he said. Junior knelt before her. He placed both hands on her knees. The staff murmured. Some backed away. But Obinna raised a hand. No one was to interfere. Junior began to whisper in a tongue no one understood. His eyes closed. His voice was calm but intense. The air shifted. It felt as if something ancient had entered the room. Then Ida Ora gasped. I felt something. Daddy, my toes moved." Obinna froze. "Are you sure?" "Yes. I felt a tingle." Junior opened his eyes. He looked exhausted. Sweat ran down his face. "She's not healed yet," he said. "But her spirit has heard me. I must return every day. 7 times total." Obinna nodded slowly. "You'll stay here until it's done." For 6 days, Junior performed the same quiet ritual, touching Adora's legs, whispering ancient words, and retreating into silence. Every day brought progress. Day 2, she moved both feet. Day 3, her knees bent slightly. Day 4, she could lift her legs off the chair for 5 seconds. Day 5, she stood for the first time in months leaning on Junior. Day 6, she took one shaky step. Hope filled the mansion. Everyone watched in awe. Even the skeptical guards now smiled at Junior, calling him Baba's spirit. The morning of Day 7, Obinna invited the media, doctors, and family. Word had gotten out. Journalists waited at the gate. Crowds gathered. In the garden, under the rising sun, Adora stood beside Junior. No braces, no crutches, just her faith. "Are you ready?" Junior asked. "Yes." He stepped back. Adora took one step, then another, then another. The crowd gasped. Some wept. A doctor dropped his clipboard. She was walking alone. Obinna dropped to his knees, crying like a baby. "Thank you, God. Thank you." Junior just smiled. "I told you she would walk." That night, Chief Obinna announced they were adopting Junior. He was now part of the family. But by morning, Junior was gone. His bed was empty. The door was unlocked. Security footage showed nothing. No one saw him leave. All they found was a folded napkin on his bed. On it, a single line. "She's walking now. My job is done." Ada Ora cried for hours. Obinna called the police. Flyers went up. News stations ran stories. But Junior had vanished like smoke. Some believed he was an angel in disguise. Others said he carried a forgotten ancestral gift. A few said he was a prophet born into poverty for one purpose, to heal. Years passed. Ada Ora grew strong. She walked, ran, even danced. And every year on the same date, she visited the street corner where she first saw him, hoping to find the barefoot boy who changed her life. She never saw him again, but in her heart she knew some miracles wear no robes. They wear rags.